the center of attention is the customer. So if I build something that I think is luxurious, but the clients do not feel that it's luxurious, then I failed. So we have been trying to find that balance. So Azizi Development is part of Azizi Group, which is into banking, real estate, and oil and gas. I personally look after the real estate. I'm the CEO of Azizi Developments, and the company was established in 2007. We started with a few projects in Al Furjan, then went into the Palm, and then from almost in every location of Dubai, all the prime locations of Dubai, there is an Azizi project. As we speak, there is 120 projects under construction, and there's another 400 buildings in the pipeline. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of projects that have been already delivered. There's a lot of people living in our properties. And what makes us different than a lot of other developers is that we do a complete end-to-end management of the property. We look for the properties, we do the feasibility study, we do the design, we do the construction, and also do the maintenance after its delivery. So it makes us quite different than the average developer within the region. Things changed to a very positive way in Dubai after COVID. Dubai handled COVID very well, so a lot of people were quite impressed and they wanted to move to a place like this. Then the Expo was another big help. And the situation in Europe and with all the inflation, it really played really well and positive for Dubai. So internationally and globally, there's been a lot of investment and a lot of investors, end users, families wanting to move and live here in Dubai. And we as a company wanted to cater to that very well, where we have a team that is obviously dedicated to being on the ground here, but then there's another team that is always on the road shows, going abroad, from Europe to Americas to Africa to India, to all of these places where Dubai has direct flights, for example, or there's a lot of communities coming here. So Dubai is a very international city, where I would say it's the Singapore of Middle East, or it's the Zurich and the Switzerland of Europe. So Dubai has it plays a very special role in the Middle East. That's why foreign investors, when they first come to the Middle East, they see the infrastructure in Dubai, they see the airport, they see the safety, they see all the schooling. Everything is very functional, the whole infrastructure. So it makes it quite easy for international investors, even on their first visit, to go and buy a home. And home is a very big first start for them. And that is something we have seen that a lot of developers have benefited from, whether it's Azizi Developments or other developers, and we're seeing more and more buyers nowadays from Europe. So we as all our projects have a very mixed group of buyers. We have people from UAE, Emiratis, making 27%, but all the 73% of the other buyers are from across the globe. Recently, we have launched many projects. The market has been having the demand, and we've had very good opportunities, and we launched a few projects. But if I would mention one specific one, I would mention the Azizi Venice. It's a massive project. It's 3.5 times bigger than the Riviera project. It has around 120 buildings. It has over 400 villas. There's an opera in that project. There's a lot of water features. It's an absolutely beauty, not just in Dubai, but within the region. And that project was launched just a month ago, although we started design a year ago. And today, in fact, is one of the sales events of that project. And it's a very unique project because the entire community is within Azizi Developments control, whether it's the infrastructure, the entire landscaping, the development of the property. When it's end-to-end with us, it makes it so much different. We don't have to depend on external parties to help us and develop the property. So it's one of the projects we're very proud of. And as I speak, it's under construction, sales are happening, something that I'm really looking forward to having many people occupy that place eventually and and live there, and children growing up, and it's just a very beautiful project. So for us as a developer, it's very important to be practical. It's so important. We have experimented where we made our homes very smart. There was all of these high-tech things in these properties, but customers were not comfortable, especially elderly who were not familiar with the iPads and all the touch screens and all that. And we realized that if you make it so smart that it's not comfortable, then it was not smart at all. So we've been looking at building homes that are really functional to the customer. The customer has to be comfortable. The customer has to see that it's actually saving them energy, that it's actually giving them efficiency, that it's making sense, and it's not complicated, right? So we've seen a lot of technologies coming as a test run, and we avoid those. But we've been going to suppliers who are able to give us technologies that have been in the market for some time. And that has played the right balance. And that's why, so when we build our properties, we do a lot of provisioning for smart home, but we do not necessarily force those into the customers. And then we have clients, the younger generation, who want their homes to be super smart. They don't have to do any drilling. Everything is in place and they're happy with it. And then we have others who want the traditional sockets and switches and all that. So we have the provisioning, but they're not using it, so they have that convenience as well. So one of the things that I'm very proud of in our company here is that we are very practical. The way we design our buildings, or the way the homes are built, or even the size of the homes, the way we furnish them, it's all common sense. We don't do twisted, difficult towers where people have difficulty in maintaining it or renting it and all that. So practicality is what I think absolutely is important. Now, when it comes to Dubai or the UAE, the way they've been promoting, for example, going paperless, or the way the whole setup is, where you don't have to get all of these papers and you don't have to go through all of this bureaucracy when you're buying a home or when you're ordering things online. It has become so much easy. When you go to any of the authorities here, you can do everything without a visit. You can pay your electricity bills, everything online. So Dubai has been an example for a lot of businesses here, where usually businesses are much more efficient and effective, but here the government has been so amazingly wonderful that private businesses look up to them and want to copy those systems. So Dubai itself has not been, the authorities here, have not been just proposing theories to do this and that. They've actually taken the first step, and then individuals have been following that. So within our company, we copied that good system. We're paperless as well. We have a lot of things automated. We use the best softwares possible. And then that has helped us make our homes delivered on time, make them more efficient. And when there's a little bit of problems with these properties, the property itself gives signals back to our maintenance team. Look, the air conditioning needs to be maintained, or the elevators could potentially break down in a week or so. All of this technology, but being practically used, is absolutely necessary, I think. Okay, to be honest, we had a lot of struggle when it comes to sustainability, and the main struggle was coming from the customers, because the customers were not able to get their mind around sustainability. They were not understanding the concept. They were not understanding, why do I need to invest in so much more insulation, or why does the building need to have this and that? Why did the building become much more expensive? But then when we were able to explain and meet client requirements in a way where they saw the benefit of their property in the long term, that's when the clients understood the benefit of sustainability. So for any city to be developed in a sustainable way, I think it's absolutely important that all parties are winning from it. The regulators, the developer, and the customer. And when everybody understands what's the meaning of sustainability, then things become so different. And that is one of the challenges with a lot of developers or clientele, where the conversation is not there. So I personally have been involved, and so has our team, where we have spoken to our customer service team, to our sales team, so that they can pass on that message to the customers, explaining to them the importance of sustainability. When I tell a client that you're going to save 20% on your electricity bill, they're like, okay, tell me more. And then when I tell them that it's going to be more sustainable, they're like, okay, I love sustainability. When they know it's going to help their pocket. And that I think it's important to find that that key point for the customers, right? So when they see that their property could last 70, 80 years or 100 years more, then being not sustainable, then they understand that, okay, you know, I could pass this home to the next generation, So build it more sustainable. If it's 5% more expensive, it's okay. So that's why for us here as a team, we wanted to first make sure our clients understand what's the meaning of sustainability, then apply those rules into our designs and all that. But then the other big player in Dubai specifically is the authorities here, the regulators, the Dubai municipality, all of the approving authority. They have made the standards quite high. So if any developer wants to build a property, they have to fulfill those standards. And those standards are such that Dubai is now on global standards, one of the most sustainable way that they're building. The way the whole property is built, the way the air conditioning system is done, or the way the concrete is brought, or the way the concrete is mixed, the way the installations are done in the property, or the way you can choose your glazing, or the aluminum work, or the paint work. Here, there is a lot of strict regulations, and those regulations, once they're fulfilled, the property is automatically sustainable. If you want to go further, then it's with the developer. But I think for developer to be successful with sustainability, they have to first educate the customer. So that's a balance I think we have not perfected, but we're chasing that, and we're there. So I could proudly say that our properties are quite sustainable. And then we have also experts sitting in Germany, in Frankfurt, who have been doing this for generations. We're getting a lot of advice from them. We have a technical team in Frankfurt who are, and a lot of this comes from Germany. So they give us a lot of advice, and then we implement those in our properties here. And you know, we absolutely like it because it's helping the environment, it's helping the customer, and it makes us proud that we're building something better. Okay, so luxury can be quite tricky. Now here, for me personally and for our company, I think for us, the center of attention is the customer. So if I build something that I think is luxurious, but the clients do not feel that it's luxurious, then I failed. So we have been trying to find that balance. When we build a property, there are always some penthouses, some duplexes, some large apartments with swimming pools and, you know, maid rooms and many bedrooms. But it's always a small percentage because maybe 5% of individuals would want to invest and have all of that. What we have been doing, in fact, is making our whole building as luxurious as possible by having a lot of facilities in them. So many of our buildings, I can proudly say, have swimming pools, gymnasiums, have saunas, even Turkish hammams in our new projects, and kids' playgrounds. There's a lot of them have a jogging track. A lot of those details we've been thinking that if somebody buys a studio, the property needs to have those facilities of a hotel. So you're sort of living in a hotel, facilitated residential property, and that I think is luxurious. And if you buy a small property or big property, you always look at the size of your needs. So if somebody is a single and they only need a studio, I want to build that studio as luxurious as possible, and I want the building to have a lot of facilities. Then I did the property luxurious. Like, luxury should not mean that it's vast and it's 10,000 square foot and has pools and has, you know, all of these bling blings in it and all that. I find that waste. I think a lot of people who move into those properties, they're maybe happy for some time, but then they get exhausted from it. And we don't want to be wasteful, especially when so many people need homes. We don't want to waste any square foot on unnecessary luxury, which is luxury but not practical. So I focus more on practical luxury than having, I just want to call it bling bling. Very proud to be here with the team from IPS Studio, and the show is happening on February 27 to 29, and we as a company are very proud to participate in it.